thought could be the calm before the storm. We have the world's great military people in this room, I will tell you that. And we're going to have a great evening. Thank you all for coming.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out. Thank you.
Our second stop in New York City is the United Nations headquarters, which was built in 1945 and financed largely by John D. Rockefeller. Inside UN headquarters is an ominous meditation room. The custodian of the meditation room is Lucis Trust Company. At one time, the Lucis Trust was located at 666 United Nations Plaza and was formally named Lucifer Publishing Company. The Rockefeller-funded UN meditation room is 33 feet long and 18 feet wide. 18 feet is 6 plus 6 plus 6. The small, dimly lit, windowless room was built in the shape of a pyramid that is laying on its side. At the center of the room is a 4-foot-high, black, casket-shaped stone slab which weighs 6.5 tons. And is extremely magnetic and rests on a concrete pillar. The pillar descends beneath the floor into the bedrock and taps into the Earth's hyperdimensional energies to induce a state of altered consciousness. Not far from the meditation room is the United Nations Security Council chamber. This is the emergency room of the UN, where the world leaders meet when there is a threat to peace. They decide the fate of nations. Even though Israel has over 200 uninspected nuclear weapons and has violated dozens of resolutions, no sanctions are ever imposed because of the United States' veto powers. Notice the giant mural that towers over the Security Council room. The central focus of the UN mural is the phoenix bird that has risen. The phoenix bird is a symbol of Lucifer. Egyptians believed that the phoenix symbolized a god who rose to heaven in the form of a morning star like Lucifer after his fire immolation of death and rebirth. Notice that the phoenix bird is not standing above his own ashes. He is standing above his old skin. Like a snake, he has shed his old skin and is revealing himself as God at the center of the mural. At the top left, there is a church steeple without a cross. The missing cross symbolizes the death of Christianity. Below, a woman receives the rays of the sun god, while the man in front of her plays Pan's flute. To their right are two pyramid symbols and people joined together by a long blue serpent-like cloth. Below the risen phoenix, a sword is driven through a dragon beast. This represents the killing of old beliefs and religions that depicted Lucifer as a beast. The New World religion worships him as beautiful. Behind the phoenix, the ghostly figures of the walking dead are stepping into a void. They symbolize depopulation. On the right panel, the pale horse from the book of Revelation is the bringer of death to humanity through weapons, hunger, and disease. The man is releasing him. The chained black man represents slavery, while the top panel of the mural shows a technologically advanced white race who control industry, art, and science. In this post-apocalyptic mural, the military man standing on the tail of the beast represents worldwide military power. He tips his helmet to the elite, who are climbing out from underground cities where they safely hid from the apocalypse. In the main oval panel above the phoenix bird, a woman is holding flowers. She is the bride in a wedding ceremony. Who are these newlyweds that are kneeling submissively beneath the serpent in the overhead tree? Could the newlyweds symbolize William and Kate? The serpent in human form is tempting the little girl Eve, who accepts the apple. On the right side of the top panel, a reptilian green creature with scaly skin is dancing with a naked woman while musicians entertain him. The general message of the UN's Phoenix Rising mural is that humanity is stepping into a new Luciferic reality. Beneath this disturbingly prophetic mural, world leaders make global decisions that affect the lives of nearly 7 billion people. What's hard for most people to grasp is that our elected government leaders are involved in an apocalyptic scheme to enslave the masses under a world government dictatorship. How do these leaders sleep at night? How do they live with themselves?
All right, here we go. Maintain humanity under 500 million. So, how many people we got to kill?
We gotta kill a lot of people.
Well, Monsanto's doing a good job. Maybe Monsanto, maybe they did this. It's a good possibility. Who knows? But they want to
Maybe.
kill plenty of people. Here we go.
We just know that they're killing a lot of people.
There we
That's
go. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Okay, well, that's eugenics. So who's the head of eugenics right now, Scotty? Bill Gates? Seriously. Pretty much.
There's no eugenics anymore.
Well, I mean, okay, here we go. What else we got here? Unite humanity with a living new language.
It's like Bible stuff.
There we go, the Babylon. Huh?
Higher Babylon.
There we go. Okay, there we go. All right, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason.
Get rid of all your passion, get rid of all your faith, and get rid of all your old traditions with reason.
Well, that might be good. What do you think?
It sounds like you're a robot.
Well, I mean, but some of the old-fashioned stuff and some of the
passion's important.
well, passion we got to have. You know? So I mean, we you know.
It says to become a robot and get rid of everything that we ever were.
But I mean, some of the old traditions are pretty
Some of them
fucking
are
lame. Okay, but I mean, some are okay with tempered reason. Okay, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Well,
Okay,
isn't that what America was all about? Weren't we supposed to be free?
It's just telling you what to think.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go from that. Okay, let's see. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Isn't that kind of like New World Order kind of thing? Isn't that like the United Nations?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the UN right
There we go, the United Nations. There we go. Maybe they built it. Okay, let's see. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Now that I agree with. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Avoid petty laws. Fuck yeah. And the useless officials. I mean, do you know any officials that aren't useless? Let's get rid of them. There we go. All right. Balance personal rights with social duties. Okay, come on now.
Sounds like Russia communist mode, you know,
I mean,
Soviet Russia having social duties.
Yes, let's get our social duties, huh? Okay.
Nazi Germany.
Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. That sounds pretty fucking...
That just sounds like it's thrown in there to sound like you're real nice or something.
Yeah,
It sounds so
okay.
stupid.
All right, well, I mean, we can believe in that.
They
though,
could
you
just-
know, we can prize truth, yes, we prize truth,
Maybe
beauty,
just say-
love, yes.
Prize good thing.
Okay, all right.
Stuff.
Well, I like the next one here. Be not a cancer on the earth. Okay, I can agree with that. Let's try not to be cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. Well, I don't know. How many times have we traveled across the country? I think there's plenty of nature still left, isn't there?
Lots of it, but
I mean, I think there's a lot of nature still left. So.
I am
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news talking this and that. say, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
If you've retired, you don't have anything to worry about. It's the third time I've said that. I'll probably say it 3 more times. See, in my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again for the truth to sink in, to kind of catapult the propaganda.
So, I mean, that is the land of unconfirmed radios. We came, we saw, he died. We have heard that 500,000 children have died. I mean, that's more children than died in Hiroshima. And, you know, is the price worth it?
I think this is a very hard choice, but we think the price is worth it.
Including the simple truth that all men and women are created equal. But those ideals have also been tested here in Europe and around the world. Those ideals have often been threatened by an older, more traditional view of power. This alternative vision argues that ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. That order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign. Often, this alternative vision roots itself in the notion that by virtue of race, or faith, or ethnicity, some are inherently superior to others, and that individual identity must be defined by us versus them.
This is an historic moment. We have in this past year made great progress in ending the long era of conflict and Cold War. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
The word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society, and we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it. And there is very grave danger that an announced need for increased security will be seized upon by those anxious to expand its meaning to the very limits of official censorship and concealment. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. And no official of my administration, whether his rank is high or low, civilian or military, should interpret my words here tonight as an excuse to censor the news, to stifle dissent, to cover up our mistakes, or to withhold from the press and the public the facts they deserve to know. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary.
Watching Entertainment. I'm doing a report today on the Temple of Baal, also known as the Ark of Triumph, which was supposedly cancelled ultimately and then rebuilt in London Times Square. And now we're seeing it in New York City Hall, just like they promised us. Unfortunately, that's the reality of it. So I wanted to talk about it because a lot of people are getting upset about this ancient ark that may be connected to an ancient god that nobody seems to worship anymore. Well, for those of you that know that the elites are the satanic dealers of this world, the truth is that Baal is mentioned in the Bible more than 100 times. A very high percentage of the current world religions that can be traced directly back to this ancient deity and to ancient Babylon. And the practices involved in the ancient Baal worship are very eerily similar. This goes to show that the society from then and now is no different. Ritualistic Baal worship. Adults would gather around the altar of Baal, or Baal, however you want to pronounce it. Infants would be burned alive as a sacrificial offering to the deity. Amid horrific screams and the stench of charred human flesh, congregants, men and women alike, would engage in also bisexual orgies. The ritual of the convenience was intended to produce economic prosperity by prompting Baal to bring rain for the fertility of Mother Earth. It's very deep, it's very disgusting stuff. And they're supposed to create 1,000 of these little things all over the place. Now they're going up quick. They're not taking that long. Some of them are even hidden. The natural consequences of such behavior, pregnancy and childbirth, and the associated financial burdens of unplanned parenthood would easily offset. One could either choose to engage in homosexuality conduct, or with child sacrifice available on demand, could simply take part in another fertility ceremony to terminate the unwanted child. So thanks for taking the time. I just wanted to clearly explain to exactly what these temples and arcs are representing. Don't forget that we live in a world that is full of death and destruction right now, and it is because we are in the middle of a spiritual warfare. Understand that.
You will never see it coming. And fire